You should start a YouTube channel. It's your path to escape your 9 to 5, to become your own boss and do the things you want to do. At least that's what a lot of YouTube channels will tell you, especially the ones who are YouTube channels about making YouTube videos. It's kind of their thing. But my channel is an art channel, not a channel about channels. And I think it's important to hear the perspectives of the people who are doing the thing that we're considering also doing. I've posted a new art-based video almost every single week for the past 9 months. And even though it hasn't even been a whole year yet, I feel like I'm in the perfect position to talk to a new YouTuber about what this actually feels like, what you can experience when you start this whole process, and if this is something that you even want to do. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Robinson of Robinson Pixels. The first question that you really need to ask yourself before you even start a YouTube channel is, do I want to start a YouTube channel? And if your gut reaction to that is no, absolutely not, then no, probably not. This isn't something you would enjoy. But if you're like me, this is something that's hung around in your mind for years. My friends and I used to make short films and little videos back in high school and college. I'd write a lot of the scripts and direct and act and edit. They weren't very good, but they were a lot of fun to make. Of course, none of that is necessary to create a channel. I'm just saying that it's something that I have always felt drawn towards. And if you have always kind of had that feeling that you want to create things for people to see and hear and feel, then YouTube might be something that you actually want to do. As for what you should make your channel about, obviously that's going to be up to you. If you just want it to be a fun little side project, it could be literally anything. If you want to go hiking one day and document it, great. And another day, if you want to make a trailer for the Mega Man Maker levels you built, hey, more power to you. But if you want it to grow, you're gonna need a topic. Every big YouTuber out there is gonna tell you that you should niche down in order to really find your audience. That can feel a little stifling, but honestly, it makes sense. Think of your own viewing habits. You could be a really big fan of The Office and Avatar: The Last Airbender. But if Michael Scott comes to work one day dressed as a firebender, and he has actual firebending powers, you would think that's stupid. People come to you and they expect what they expect. And it might take some experiments to figure out exactly what your channel's niche is. Even for my channel, which my niche is pixel art. If you don't know what pixel art is, it's retro video game styled art. But even within that, there's a whole lot of room for different directions you can take. I can make videos learning official video game styles, or making different tutorials, or just giving general art advice. But the next thing that popped up in my mind, and honestly, this is something I still sometimes struggle with, and I'm sure a lot of y'all have this problem too, is feeling qualified to run a channel. Right? Who are you to create a YouTube channel? What do you know that other people don't know? What do you have to offer that other people don't already have to offer? That was tough for me before I started, because I wanted to make a channel about pixel art, but I'm not a game developer. I've started a handful of games. I've designed dozens on notebook paper and in Word docs, but I haven't actually completed any. And even from the art angle, who am I to talk about art? I'm not a professional. I'm a self-taught artist. I've got a lot to learn still. I've never gone to a convention and sold stuff. I've never drawn commissions for people. Who am I to offer anything to the internet? And the answer to that question is, I am me, Andrew Robinson. Nice to meet you. You see, some of the best advice that I heard before I started this channel was actually from Ali Abdaal. He's a YouTuber who was summarizing a book, but the idea is to figure out what your unfair advantage is. Everyone on the planet has some sort of unfair advantage, and that unfair advantage is based on the fact that you have experiences that no one else has. For me, I started making comics based on Mega Man games back when I was 11 years old on my family computer. I'd take them to school, show them to my classmates, or post them online. I made these comics and pixel art for about a decade before I stopped in college. And the only reason that I stopped was I started writing a book. Because I wrote this book, Lucas Knight and the Reaper of Chaos, I kinda know how to write. I can sit and work on a script for this channel for 7 hours straight and it doesn't faze me. I like writing. So I've got all these different experiences that help guide me while I do this channel, and you have your own experiences too that can help you with whatever your creative endeavor is as well. You just need to figure out what it is and tap into that energy so that you can do your thing. And that thing could be videos. You are qualified as long as you remain true to who you are. But as for actually doing it, that's a totally different question. We'll talk about the gear at the end, but more importantly, I want to talk about like how you actually go about starting that channel. For me, what I actually did was I started out by dipping my toes into this whole thing through YouTube Shorts. It was a good practice ground for me to go through and do little different tests to see what actually kind of works, what my voice should sound like. But honestly, the biggest thing you need to consider is the workload itself. There's an awful lot to it, more than you probably think. Even for just 1 minute of video, I probably spend about an hour editing that. And if you have a full-time job, it's very difficult to be able to do, the full-time job and all of this on your nights and weekends and evenings and mornings. I have to rotate out my hobbies even, right? Like today, I'm gonna play Indiana Jones because the new game just came out. Great. I'm not gonna read a book though. I have to find that another day. Realistically, it's been at least a part-time job that I've been working on, if not a full-time job really. If you counted all the hours up, it might be. And I'm not getting paid. You see, it's actually extremely rare for a YouTuber to be monetized. There are 2 different ways to get monetized. The first requirement for both ways is to have 1,000 subscribers. That's actually the easy part, right? After that, if you're doing shorts, you have to have 10 million views in the last 3 months. That's not gonna happen. But if you do long form content, you need 4,000 watch hours within the past year. I am so close. But even once I get monetized, I am aware it's not gonna be a lot of money. This is all really hard for a very small reward that's not even here yet, right? But I promise you, there are a lot of really good things. And I'm gonna talk about those after a couple of more bad ones that you just need to know about. If you have subscribers who aren't watching your videos, then the videos are less likely to get recommended to more people out there. So if you're subscribing to this channel right now because you really like YouTube advice, you're probably hurting the channel because I don't give YouTube advice very often. I do pixel art. Actually, now that I'm saying this, it's probably a gamble to even make this video, but what the hell, here we are. Oops. So the other thing that you need to know, you can't let the success of a viral video that you have hurt your feelings later when your other videos are not also viral. I'm lucky if I hit 500 views on any of my videos here on the channel, but my very first long form video got 37,000 views. I think it's just because YouTube gives more of a chance to brand new channels and it shows it to more people so they can see, whether or not they like it. It made me think right out the gate that I was doing a really great job and YouTube was actually a piece of cake. It's not a piece of cake. So what you have to do is really accept YouTube for what it is, right? YouTube is a fantastic place to grow a community. I have never even met a pixel artist in real life, right? At all. I don't know anybody else who does what I do. And it's really nice here to be able to talk to people and show them what I've learned. And, in the comments, they'll tell me other techniques, or they'll even criticize me sometimes and say, hey, these colors weren't very good here, and this is why. And I'll be like, oh, shit, you're right. And then I can fix that on my next videos going forward. And I find YouTube very fulfilling. I wrote that book because I like to write, and now I get to write scripts, and I like pixel art, and now I get to write the scripts about pixel art, and I like making movies, and now I'm editing my own content. So for me, this hits a lot of the different areas of interest for my life, and it's in a way that's able to reach out and talk to others. If this sounds like something that you want to do, hey, let's talk now about the gear that you need to do it. It's an easy list, y'all. You need a camera. Mine is my phone. You should probably buy a microphone. If I'm gonna say you should spend any money on anything, microphones matter. You see, it just doesn't sound as good when you're using the built-in phone microphone. It kind of sucks. My mic is a Blue Yeti. I'll put a link in the description, but this is kind of like the standard YouTuber one. If your room has any echo, that could be a problem. I just stuck a bunch of cardboard on my walls, and there's a blanket hanging on the wall over there, and that helps absorb a lot of that echo. Also, the room's above overhead light, the default one in houses, usually looks pretty bad, so I've got a couple of different lamps. I've got this one really huge one that I point at my face. The light's too bright, so I diffuse it with a t-shirt, because I'm a redneck. I also have 2 small creator lights that kind of help light me up a little bit better. Those are luxuries, they are not necessities. Now, if you want an example of what I normally do around here, I would really recommend that you check out my video on Princess Peach from Super Mario Bros, where I take her design and redo it and tweak it, and we do some little pixel art history in that one, and, you know, mess around with all the different designs we can make using the original Nintendo constraints. Is a lot of fun, so you can check that out right over here, and if you like that type of thing, follow along for more pixel practice. Now, on my channel, I do pixel art, pixel art, pixel art. Why doesn't it sound real?